The killer who attended his own funeral. The perfect deception. Imagine being at a funeral. Grief fills the air. Tears fall, and people mourn the dead. But among them, there's one person who shouldn't be there, the dead man himself. This isn't a movie plot. This is a true story of a serial killer who faked his own death to escape justice. And this is how he pulled off one of the smartest criminal tricks in history. In the late 1990s, David Larson lived in a small town, a quiet, friendly man working at a local shop. He greeted his neighbors, lived a seemingly normal life. But behind this mask was something much darker, a mind obsessed with death. Since childhood, David was different. He wasn't afraid of death. He was fascinated by it. He collected dead animals, studied them, dissected them, trying to understand life and death in ways no child should. He felt nothing, just a curiosity that could never be satisfied. And over time, that curiosity turned into something much worse. One cold night in 1998, a young man was found stabbed to death in a dark alley. No witnesses, no fingerprints, no clues. It was as if the murder had happened in a void. 2 months later, another body, then another, each one killed with precision, each crime scene spotless. The police were baffled. There was something strange about these murders. Each victim had distinct markings on their bodies, as if the killer was leaving a hidden message. But only one man noticed the pattern: Detective James Cole. Cole wasn't like the others, a seasoned detective with a rare talent for understanding the minds of criminals. He studied every crime scene, analyzed every detail, and slowly, a pattern emerged. The victims all lived in the same area. All were young men. All had visited the same small shop, run by one man, David Larson. At first, there was no solid evidence, so the police began watching him, following him, waiting for him to make a mistake. But David knew they were watching, and instead of being scared, he enjoyed it. But when the police closed in, David played his final card. One night, a terrible car accident occurred on the highway. The vehicle exploded in flames, and the burnt body inside was identified as David Larson. Authorities confirmed it was him. The case was closed. The killer was dead, but the truth was far more sinister. David had planned everything meticulously. He had found a man who resembled him, lured him in, and murdered him. Then, he placed the body in his car, set it on fire, and left behind his ID and personal items. Just enough evidence to convince the world he was gone. The next day, David Larson was a dead man. But for David, escaping wasn't enough. He wanted to witness his own victory. He wanted to see their faces, their sorrow, their defeat. Disguised as an old man, he walked into his own funeral. He sat in the back, watching in silence. The police officers, his co-workers, his neighbors, and then Detective Cole, standing by the casket, staring at it, with an expression David couldn't quite understand. Did Cole know? Did he suspect something? David didn't care. This was his moment, his masterpiece. But his arrogance would be his downfall. Weeks later, he couldn't resist one final game with the police. He sent Detective Cole a message, just a single cryptic sentence. Not everyone buried is truly dead. For David, it was just another challenge, a way to taunt them. But it was the mistake that cost him everything. Authorities reopened the case. The burnt body was re-examined. When the truth came out, the real hunt for David Larson began. For 5 years, he lived in hiding under a new identity. But in the end, there was no escape. Today, David Larson sits behind bars. Yet, he still smiles. In a rare interview, he told Detective Cole, "Even when I was free, I was never more in control than I am now, because I wrote my story, down to the very last page." But the real question is, How many times has history been fooled? How many killers have faked their deaths and are still among us? Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know what story you want to see next.